The Bible never tells us his name. No tribe is recorded, no family history, no future mentioned. Yet what he did that day fed thousands, and his faith is still feeding souls today. It was a long day on the hillside. Jesus had crossed over the Sea of Galilee, and a great crowd followed him. Men, women, children, people hungry for healing, for hope, for words that sounded like life. The sun climbed higher, the hours passed, and slowly hunger crept in. Not just hunger for truth, but hunger in the stomach. Jesus looked out over the crowd, more than 5,000 men, and that didn't even count the women and children. Then he turned to Philip and asked a simple question. Where shall we buy bread that these people may eat? Philip looked at the crowd and did the math. Even 200 denarii, nearly 8 months' wages, would not be enough to give everyone a single bite. Andrew scanned the people, searching for any solution, any hope. And that's when he noticed a boy, just a boy, not a disciple, not a leader, not a wealthy man, a child standing quietly in the crowd. Andrew said, "There is a lad here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish. But what are they among so many? What are they among so many?" That question still echoes today. The boy stepped forward. We don't know what he felt in that moment. Maybe nervous, maybe unsure, maybe even embarrassed. 5 loaves, 2 fish. It was probably his lunch, prepared by a caring parent that morning. Enough for one small stomach, nowhere near enough for a multitude. He could have held it back. No one would have blamed him. After all, the problem was too big. The crowd was too large. His offering was too small. But he didn't ask, "Is this enough?" He didn't ask, "Will this even matter?" He simply gave what he had. Jesus took the loaves. He didn't complain about the size. He didn't ask for more. He didn't say it wasn't enough. He lifted his eyes to heaven. And he gave thanks. Imagine that. Jesus thanked God for what looked insufficient. Then he broke the bread. And something supernatural happened. The disciples began to distribute the food, and it kept coming, and coming, and coming. People ate until they were full. Children stopped fidgeting. Mothers stopped worrying. Fathers stopped scanning for leftovers. Every person ate. When it was over, Jesus told his disciples to gather what remained. 12 baskets. Full. More leftovers than what they started with. All because one unnamed boy said yes. This boy never preached a sermon. He never performed a miracle. He never spoke a recorded word. But his obedience placed a miracle into motion. God didn't ask him for what he didn't have. God asked for what he did. And that made all the difference. Here's the part we often miss. Jesus could have created bread from nothing. He could have spoken food into existence. But he chose to involve a child. Why? Because God delights in using what the world overlooks. The smallest gift. The quiet obedience. The nameless faith. What you place in Jesus' hands may look small, but once it leaves your hands, it is no longer limited by you. Today, many people say, "I don't have enough. I'm too small. I'm not known. I don't have a platform. I don't have a name." Neither did the boy. Yet heaven noticed him. The miracle didn't begin when the bread multiplied. It began when the boy let go. Maybe your 5 loaves are your talent, your time, your creativity, your voice, your resources, your obedience when no one is watching. In your hands, it feels insignificant. In God's hands, it becomes more than enough. The Bible never recorded his name, but his story was written into eternity. And today, his faith asks us a question. What are you holding back that God is waiting to multiply? He was nameless, but he was not forgotten, and neither are you. If this story spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments. What are your 5 loaves and 2 fish? Subscribe for the next episode of Nameless Legends of the Bible, where we uncover the hidden heroes God used to change history.